TikTok? Because I know there's a lot of people that are watching this that watched our content from TikTok that are probably haven't posted a video before and they're wanting to, just get that extra push. So tell me, how did you first hear about TikTok? How did your first experience with TikTok? And then how did you first decide to post your first video? And do you even remember what that video was?
Absolutely. So I resisted TikTok. I was
Resisted it.
actually anti-TikTok in the beginning because I thought it was stupid. I just saw people dancing all the time. And I'm like, terrible dancer. So I'm like, look, I'm not dancing. And if this is what you have to do to promote your business, I'm not interested. Thank you. But my girlfriend gave me a good kick in the butt and a good nudge. And it wasn't until actually she did show me a few informative educational videos that I saw the light. And I was like, wait a second. Oh, well, what do you know? Well, let me play with it. And I believe I did a video on diverticulitis. And
What is
it
that?
was diverticulitis is a very painful situation where you have these intestinal pouches that will fill up and you will just have pockets of hard rock poop that kind of looks like rabbit pellets. And people who poop out rabbit pellets or who have really severe pain when they go to the bathroom, unfortunately, are dealing with a situation that could turn into an infection, could even rupture. And people accidentally diagnose themselves with this sickness when they get a colonic. But once they get it, I hit the brakes. And I'm like, okay, we know now you have this situation. Now you need to get help. So the help I can offer, and I do that in a natural route. But then again, some people need to go to the MD. That's fine. You go whichever direction you want. But this is another thing. Like, you learn about how, like, wow, this procedure, somebody's had this disease. They had no clue. And they just figured out, okay, I'm pooping rabbit pellets. Well, I have this situation. I better get on it. So
She posted that video.
and that video got like, I forgot how many, 50,000 views or something. And it blew up to like 100,000. And so I didn't understand the magnitude of what it was and what was happening. Even when my girlfriend was like, that's a big deal. That's great.
And this is on your first video, guys. This is his
First couple
first
of
video.
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just started to play with the technology. And suddenly my former filmmaker self kicked in because I had no clue. Wow, this technology is amazing. It's amazing because, back in the day when I did production, if I wanted to put any animation on anything, it would cost you like $5,000 to produce something animated for 10, 15 seconds, let alone, a whole minute. And here we are with access to animation and titles and music that we don't have to get the rights to. I mean, that was the big game changer. And so I commend TikTok for giving us this technology while I spank them and slap them on the wrist for what to me seems like a potentially flawed algorithm that allows and empowers people to kind of, out of spite, they don't like what you're saying, have the power to actually get you banned because they just don't agree with what you're saying. And so I had
yeah,
280,000 followers.
So you had in your first account. So you had a first account that had 280,000 followers, and then
Yes.
describe the morning you woke up. And
Yeah. So the warning signs were actually there a few weeks before because suddenly, I mean, just all my videos were getting taken down.
So how did you know they were taken down when you went through?
Because you get notified and then you'll see, hey, your video was taken down for violating the terms of service. And I'm like, okay, a video on licorice root where I showed an article that showed that licorice root actually helped to kill the SARS COVID virus. And this article was older than before the pandemic. And I guess that was a little too touchy. So that got taken down. And so one video after another apparently was just upsetting people, and they would report it. And there you go. And then so it just got to that point where not only did my account, by the way, get taken down, but by some weird coincidence, my girlfriend's account also got banned and shut down. So we both woke up to this thing where it took us weeks to try to find a human being, and we never did. Nobody would help us. We tried to appeal, and we were just constantly rejected. And so I had no other choice but to just open another account and start from scratch. And here we are. So it could happen again, you know? And so I'm prepping on a YouTube channel, Health Boss TV. And we're just going to start hopefully expanding otherwise into other places and not putting all our eggs in one basket, because, you know, censorship is real. We're being censored. We're being silenced. We live in the United States of America, where we think we have freedom of speech. And here we are trying to help people. Meanwhile, all day long, I see people using the foulest language, people being sexually explicit, violence, I mean, ultra violence all the time. But here I am getting taken down because I'm telling you to drink some papaya leaf tea or what? So,
and that's the shocking thing.
riddle me
and
that.
Exactly. And that's what's really kind of, again, kind of brightened a light in my head too, is when you go on TikTok and you save a video or you like it, you can go back and then that section where that video is will just be gone. It'll just be a white thing with a 0 there.
Right.
And I started taking screenshots because I wanted to go back to these videos, but I wanted to know what videos they were deleting because there's no way for me to tell. So after a while, I was able to compare my screenshot to the thing and see they're taking down videos that are about natural health. And many times creators are showing the PubMed article in the background and they're taking down the health. So that to me is very alarming. And again, like you mentioned earlier, we're up for debate. Science is about exchanging information on both sides to figure out what the truth is. It's a problem when you start censoring one side, because now you're not letting options and people deciding for themselves and going down the rabbit hole and trying to learn on their own.
Well, there's no growth.
And there's no growth. And that's very shocking. So first of all, kudos to you to taking that on the chin, you know, growing to 280,000. I'm at 170. So you had 100,000 more. That took me, you know, almost a year to do. So I know how much work and effort we put into making these TikToks, how much time, how much emotion, and
Absolutely.
to have that taken away has got to be just painful. So I commend you for starting over, and your work speaks for itself, because look, you're already back to 115,000. People like learning about health. They like learning about natural things that we have evolved with over millions of years. So that just kind of shows you where, you know, people's mindsets are at now, which is kind of exciting. So do you, when you post, do you have a routine that you follow? Is there something that you have in place to get over that each morning when you post?
Yeah. So this is where now we can get into the metaphysical directions, you know, since we spoke about Reiki, and I just have a creative process, and I tend to channel and remote view what I need to do. And I fly blind every day. And what happens is I listen to that little voice inside of me, and it surprises me half the time, but I will either wake up and I'll come across an article that may suddenly be in alignment with what I want to talk about or something that I'm trying to promote. So it's a combination of looking for the signs and the universe helping to provide them. And then it's just like, I honestly feel like I channel, like I don't know what I'm going to say before I say it. There's no script. I just know what I want to talk about, and it just comes out. And fortunately, a lot of what I say, I feel confident about because it's all coming from experience. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to talk about it. And I like to feel confident that I've done my research, or I have experience, or that I know that what I'm saying is real. And sometimes I make mistakes, but you know, for the most part, it's just amazing. Drug companies basically clone all these plants, all these natural herbs into a chemical replica. And it's a clone. It's a watered down copy, just like a VHS second generation cassette or whatever you're using, you're copying it. So even that, when they're giving it to you, is watered down. It's not authentic, it's a copy, it's fake.
It's got the fluoride to increase the half-life. It's got oil in it to make it a pill capsule form, and it
Right.
has the host of side effects that comes from putting something unnatural in your body. And we already talked about with Lundus Pauling, that's proven that you can't take something and try and find the one little thing in the orange, the one little thing in the papaya that is the secret end all be all, and expect that to have the same effects as consuming an entire whole fruit or vegetable or root. It doesn't work like that. And
Correct.
if anybody's taking pills out there, I know that you deep down know that because you're not
Right.
getting healthy. You know you're not getting healthy.
Right.
So that's incredible that you're able to just kind of channel and just say things off the top of your head. I know for myself, I sometimes like to write down not a script word for word, but an idea of what I want.
Sure.
Just to make sure
Direction
it
is
fits
good.
in. Yeah, just make sure it fits in the 60 seconds, right? And add my background pictures because I know a lot of people are visual learners. So for those of you watching, that there's many different ways. Sometimes you can just you feel the emotion and you send it on something that you know that you've lived based on your experience, or you can do kind of what I do and use books and resources and studies and kind of methodically think it out. There is no right way to do it. But if you have a passion, if you want to share it, please share it. We want to hear what you have to say. You never know, you might get to 100,000 followers like Sacha here. Um,
Absolutely. Can I quickly cut you off and chime in on that and
yes,
just say that, you know, the best advice I can give from my experience and what I did and my success on TikTok is that you want to tell your story, people. Tell your story because we're all special. We're all unique. We all have our own journeys and our own set of experiences that we can share and that we can learn from. And don't try to be something else or somebody else or try to copy anybody. Just do your own thing. Do your own thing and just speak from your heart. And I'm confident if you tell them your story, it's going to resonate with people, especially when you're coming from the heart. So,
I could not agree, and that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with TikTok is because of the authenticity. You can feel when someone's being authentic, when they're talking from real world experience, and that's what draws people in. Is you saw on Instagram, it was a fake reality where people were very, fake photoshopping, standing behind a Lamborghini, got the nice house,
right.
got the nice clothes, and it was very fake. And TikTok, although they do some censor stuff, which I'm not a fan of, it's very natural and it's very empowering to people who are just filming with no makeup, that are
It's
filming.
raw. It's
It's raw.
raw.
It's
It's
raw.
organic.
It's organic, and it's coming from the heart. And I think that's why TikTok has really grown into what it is. So before we leave, Sacha, what is your mission? What impact are you trying to make?
It's a good question. And I'll be frank with you because for the last 12 years, I was just a mild mannered small business here in Burbank, California, doing my thing on a microscopic level. At least that's what it felt like. And TikTok turned what I'm doing into something global, where I now ship natural remedies to people all around the world. And it's been amazing. So, what has ended up happening is that my priorities have actually shifted. And as much as I love colon hydrotherapy, um, my passion is that not only am I, helping to provide people with some rare, hard to find natural remedies, whether it's soursop leaves or blue vervain or sea moss, but it's also for me about like, this everything is so linear right now, and we still have so much more to learn, and we really don't know everything and anything. But I think for me, it's really about helping people learn to realize that when you give your body the right conditions and you can control your body's internal environment, that you can regain your health. And it's that simple. So I think for me, the passion has to do with getting people to start fasting on a regular basis because that act in and of itself is the most powerful act that you can do to heal yourself. And look it up. There's a guy named Jesus Christ in the Bible. Or you can even look it up in the Quran, or whether you're Jewish, or I mean, every religion will have fasting as part of their regimen. And that's a big secret, But part of that, and that's the beauty of fasting, is that it also will give you spiritual enlightenment. And that's the cool stuff that happens when you start to fast, is that you don't only reap physical benefits, but man, I had the best dreams. I had so many lucid moments, and my intuition was sharper than a knife when I did my fast. And that's what it's about. Is I just want to share, um, just like you, that there's just all these different things that we can all do. You just need to find what resonates with you and what's in alignment with your personality, and that you can fix yourself. And I think that's kind of what my goal has been now, is to just help and guide people and push them in the right direction so that they don't need me and they can do it themselves.
I love that. And I love that you touched on that, because again, that's why I love your channel so much. And again, yes, this all comes from a place of trying to heal the physical pain, but the side effect of the physical pain being healed is the mental feeling, the mental euphoria, the mental relinquish from these chains that you feel. And when you feel that, you just want to give that feeling to other people. Because what world would we live in? What would that look like if everybody had that mental euphoria that comes from healing your actual self and feeling empowered that you did it yourself? I can't remember any of my doctors trying to give me the power to say, here, take this information and I don't want to see you again. They want to see me on a weekly checkup, right?
Right.
So thank you so much, Sacha, for your time.
Absolutely,
Guys,
Dylan.
follow this guy, Sacha, at Healing Arts Apothecary on TikTok. I'm going to list all of his channels on the screen, as well as in the description below. Check out his website, healingarts.me. He is a wonderful resource. He's always active in the comments. He posts almost daily, and he's just sharing information that we've known for hundreds of years, and we're just stumbling upon it again for some reason.
That's
And
it.
there's no better time to do it now. So, Sacha, thank you so much for your time. Learned so much. Thank you for being raw with us. And you know what? I'll see you out there on the TikTok grind, and hopefully we can do this again in the future.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. Everybody, stay strong, stay healthy, and God bless.
Absolutely.